All right, so let's get things started. My name is Ken Countess. I really do encourage you to ask questions along the way. Here's where the Q&A button is on desktop and mobile devices. Go ahead and, if you don't see the Q&A box, go ahead and move your mouse down to the bottom of the screen. And that will reveal a black bar down at the bottom, whether you're on a laptop, a desktop, a Mac, a smartphone. So the Q&A box is there. I've got an arrow drawn and a circle around it. You can use the chat box as well. I'll be looking at both of those and I'll answer your questions. So here's what I'm going to cover in the next 20 minutes or so. It's how to have a website that works harder for you and, more importantly, gets you results. I encourage you to take notes and ask questions. A lot of this stuff may, if it's new to you, it may go by pretty quickly, so you will be able to watch a replay. That's the plan anyway. We've got replays posted on Facebook, on YouTube, and on our website. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. I just want to note for you that this is just a 20-minute version of an hour-and-a-half long class that I teach. So if you'd like more information along the way, go ahead and sign up for our other upcoming events, or simply send me a note and let me know that you need some more help. I'm calling this thing Website Essentials, the 3 most important pages that you've got to have and the information that you got to have on it in order to be successful. So I'd like you to take a minute and tell me in the question box or chat box, what do you do when you hear about a business? Go ahead and put that in the chat or the Q&A. What do you do when you first hear about a business? By the way, I'm also going to launch a poll, and let me know if you have attended one of my events in the past or not. It's a simple, yeah, I've been there, and or no, this is my first one. And so for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. And for those of you who have joined me in the past, great to have you and glad to have you back. Okay, so the kinds of things that people are putting into the Q&A box, what's the first thing they do? Lucinda says, hey, I Google it. And Terrence says, I go to the website. Marty says, check out the website if interested. Jessica says, I research via the web. Wayne says, I typically look them up on their website. Yeah, all of that. So, let's use, for example, maybe you want to find out a few things about a restaurant, maybe about the parking situation. Do they have takeout or curbside service? What do? You, as all of you have said, you look them up. Certainly if it's a restaurant, you may want to know about the menu as well. You just want to know what to expect. So when your customers and your prospects are searching for what you offer, many are going to visit your website to learn more about you. They want to know whether you are the right business or are you the right organization for their needs. And your website needs to answer the questions that people will have and presents what you offer in the right way. The reality is that 63% of people use websites to find or engage with businesses to find these answers. So you can start out with a template that takes care of the design aspects, and whether you're just creating a website for the first time, or maybe you have a website and you don't like what you have, you need to figure out what to put on your website to answer those questions. And that's what I'm going to focus on today. I've got another poll running now. Quick question, do you have a website right now? I'm going to help you figure out the essential pages that you'll need to have on your website and the questions that you need to answer on that website. And oh, by the way, later in this session, I'm going to show you a special offer that will save you $240 a year, so stick around for that. Now, specifically, I'm going to look out the 4 critical questions that you must answer on your homepage. And then why bother with an About page? And then how do you create one that people actually want to read? How to make one is pretty easy. You want them to be able to find and contact you. And then I'll share with you some best practices around images for each of those pages. Now, the ideas I'm going to talk about today can be applied to any business, any organization, or even any idea that you're trying to market. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of our presentation this morning, Saturday morning, you may be wondering who I am. I know there are quite a few of you who have not attended one of my events in the past. Well, by way of introduction, my name is Ken Countess. I've got 40 years as a marketer. That is hard to believe. Every time I say that, I'm like, really? Hey, I'm in my 20th year as an independent consultant, helping people of all businesses, all people of all types and businesses grow. And before that, I was a senior marketing executive at 3 Fortune 100 companies. My company is the Countess Group. What we do is we help businesses like yours gain an unfair advantage over your competition. I know from seeing the names of those who are attending right now, quite a few of you already know me. I mentioned I've got over 40 years helping businesses, and many of those years were at big companies. Marriott, Motorola, where I spent over 20 years, and Caremark, which is now part of CVS. And what I did along the way, not only at those super big companies, but also over the last 20 years, helping small to medium-sized businesses, it's helping them understand how to target their marketing, how to do more lead generation, getting brand awareness, figuring out how to use marketing automation. That's still very new to a lot of businesses and a lot of entrepreneurs. And I spent a great deal of time in corporate communications and public relations, dealing with crises of all types. You know, the coronavirus or COVID-19, obviously we can put that in the crisis category. I've dealt with environmental issues, disaster relief, things in the workplace, credit card fraud, drug testing, and more. All right, but let's get to it. Let's dive into this thing, and let's talk about the home page. Your home page is your front door. So the purpose of your website homepage is to introduce visitors to your business and encourage them to take a next step with you. Your homepage is often the very first impression that potential customers have of you and your brand. So you want to make it easy for visitors to quickly identify what you're offering and what they need to do to get it. The key is to keep your homepage content focused on how your business helps people solve a specific problem that they're having in relation to your product or service. So let's take a look at the first of the 4 questions that we want to answer on our homepage. And that is, what is your product or service? You don't have a lot of time. When people come to your page, you've got to be very clear and very specific. They ask, is this for me? And that means you need to answer, who is this product or service for? Who is the ideal customer for your product or service? Don't be vague. Are you serving a particular group or industry? So for example, a product designed for small businesses is most likely going to be different from one designed for enterprise level businesses. And so you want to make sure your homepage is making it clear who your product is for, and ultimately have your website visitors say, hey, that's me. The next question you need to answer is, so what? Why would your potential customer care? It's likely that your potential customer is also looking at your competitors. And so you want to give them a reason why they should choose you. Is there something about your product or service that makes it unique? Maybe your product is the easiest to use, or maybe you have award-winning customer service, or maybe you solve a unique problem that others don't. Whatever it is, you should highlight why people should care. right there on your home page. Now, what should the visitor do next? Well, here's where a lot of websites drop the ball. They don't make it clear what the visitor should do next. So someone knows what you offer, know it's for them, and you've given them a good reason to choose you. Now what? Well, this is where you want to make it very clear what the next step is. Make a purchase, contact you, request a demo, give an email for additional resources. It really depends on the nature of your business and your product or service. Just be sure to identify what it is you want them to do. I call this the call to action. And sometimes you can have a primary and a secondary call to action. Think of your primary call to action as asking someone to marry you. This is where they're ready to buy. A secondary call to action is more like asking someone on a date. This is where they'll be able to learn a little bit more about you before they're ready to buy. And I'll show you an example of this later. So now you're not only going to use text to answer these questions, but you'll also use images to support you as well. Now, images are very important to help you make the right impression quickly. So obviously, you'll want to use high-quality images. And I suggest using your own images if you have them. And if not, you can use stock images. One idea is to check out Unsplash. What's nice about Unsplash images is that they're really great, beautiful images that don't look too staged. Natural-looking images will always have a better connection to your audience. So what are some of the things that you'd suggest to keep in mind for the home page? How about images that show what success looks like for your potential customer? They work best because they show the relief your customers feel after their problem is solved. And this works if you're selling a product or service. And you'll also want to use high-quality images of your products. Show them what it is. Show them who it's for. Answer the question, so what? And what should they do next? A secondary call to action may be further down the page, like learn more in the maximize sales area. So let's move on. Let me talk a little bit about the about page. Share your story with a focus on how you solve a problem that your potential customers are facing. People are looking for reassurance that you can deliver. So give that assurance. Share what you do, your history, and your qualifications. But the caveat here is that people don't want to hear about you as much as they want to know about how you can help them. If you're the face of your business, share your journey from struggling to achieving success. If you're a company, share your mission and how you help people solve a problem. And don't be afraid to let the personality of your business shine. Add a dash of humor if that's part of your brand. If you're businesslike but not boring, reveal that in your tone. And at the end of the day, we like to do business with people we know, like, and trust, don't we? So your About page is the perfect opportunity to start that relationship with your visitor. So this is your chance to share how you ended up at this point. But as I mentioned earlier, you need to share your story in a way that resonates with your potential customer. So when you start crafting the story of how you got started, you need to think about it in a storytelling manner. What problem were you trying to solve for your customers? What obstacles did you overcome to find success? Why is your work important to you? Why should people care? Really, what you're trying to convey is, how will potential customers benefit from working with you? This may be a good opportunity to include some testimonials from customers to share how you can give them peace of mind. Then What are you better at than anyone else? How will you use these skills to help your potential customers? Hey, this is like your superpower. If there were one thing you could do for your customers, what would it be? Is there a particular plan you have to help them overcome their challenges? People like to do business with people they know, like, and trust. So you want to use images that show your professional personality. Include images of your team members. If it makes sense, include action shots. You want people to start to imagine what it would be like to work with you. So what's your story? Why should people care? And what makes you or your business different? So let's move on now to talk about what goes on the Contact Us page. The purpose of your Contact Us page really is pretty simple. It's to make it easy for visitors to find and contact you. Don't expect your customers to do a lot of work to figure out how to reach you. Make it easy, or they'll leave and find someone else who is easier to contact. It's also not a bad idea to again summarize what you do, maybe in about 3 sentences, and then give all of your contact details. But it's not absolutely necessary. Let's take a look at the questions you want to answer. Number 1, where can I find you? This essentially means, how can I spend my money with you? And so you want to list your physical location. If you don't have a physical location, it may be a good idea to indicate where your company is based and list your social channels, if that's a good way to engage with you too. Next is, when can they find you? Think about your hours of operation, if they're different for different locations, and also if you have different hours for support or different departments. And then, how can they get in touch with you? Are there different ways you want them to contact you? Or do you have a preferred contact method? Also, mention what they should expect in terms of a reply. How quickly? If you have a physical location people can visit, show an image of it. Now, of course, during the coronavirus situation, many businesses have been forced to close doors. So you might want to have an alternate way for people to reach you. You can show the physical location, but show them also that there's another way for them to do business with you. I was just reading earlier today, I'm in the Orlando, Florida area, about a local restaurant who cannot have people visit their location on site, so they offer curbside pickup. So that would be a good thing to include on a website. Include a map so people can get to you easily. And this is particularly important if you're in a location that maybe wouldn't be so obvious. You want to have a click-to-call support. Where can they find you? When can they find you? How can they contact you? Those are the big 3 for a contact page. So what happens if somebody visits your website and they don't make a purchase? Now, this is where I suggest that you collect an email address. So you can collect your visitors by email, contact them by email, to influence them later on. And use email marketing to do that. Email's a great tool. You can incorporate it into your online marketing strategy to drive business. So collect email addresses so you can share a combination of helpful and promotional messages that encourage them to do business with you. Just be sure to offer something of value to your visitors to entice them to provide their email address. It might be a discount, some sort of an exclusive content, a white paper, for instance, or a way to show their support depending on your business or organization. So if you're not on my mailing list yet, go to this URL, take a picture of it or write it down. By the way, capitalization matters. So bit.ly/join-mail-list, capitalize join, mail, and list. Or you can go to our website and sign up there, of course. But you'll be able to learn when we have other events that are coming up. And every week we send out emails to help people be better marketers. So at this point, I'm going to wrap it up a little bit so I can get to Q&A. So before I do, I want to recap a few things. Number one, the home page of your website is your front door. Make sure the information is short and sweet and gets the point across. You want to succinctly show them what it is you offer, who it's for. So, and then the so what, why people should care, and what you want them to do next. Next up is your about page. That's your chance to share your story. And for this, you want to answer, what is your story? Why should people care? And what makes you different? And then lastly, but not least, don't forget about your contact page to provide all your contact information. Allow people to get in touch with you with any additional questions. Here you want to answer where people can find you, and if you have a physical location or if you're just online. And then let people know where they can find you with your hours and how they can contact you. So those are the 3 core pages I recommend. Get them set up and start to think about other pages that you'll need specifically for your business or organization. So for example, if you have a restaurant, you'll want to include a menu page. If you sell products, you'll want to have a page for your online store. If you offer services like a spa or even business services, you'll want to consider having a service page. And if possible, include some pricing information. Real estate, you'll want to have search pages of your available properties. And nonprofits may need a programs and services page and a support us page. So finally, be sure to spend time on your website to absorb what you've seen today. Check it out and see if it answers these questions. And call me if you have any questions. By the way, I put another poll up there. How would you rate this short webinar? All of your marketing needs can be in one place. If you need help with email or websites or logos or social advertising or automation, we can help you. You may know, and certainly if you know me, you know that I'm a partner of Constant Contact and Keep and Infusionsoft and Zoho and Microsoft, so we can help you with just about anything you need to market your business. Okay, we're going to jump into Q&A. Here's where the Q&A button is. If you joined us late or if you forgot or you can't find the Q&A button, take your mouse, move it down to the bottom of the screen, and there it'll reveal a black bar that has Q&A, chat, and a way to raise your hand. So let's make sure you're still with me. Go ahead and raise your hand. Show me you found where that control panel is. Great. Jessica and Ron and RD and Audrey and Wayne and Lucinda and Deirdre and Marcy and Carolyn and Terrence and let's see, Marty and Rodney. Oh, Rodney, hey, how you doing today? Okay, thanks. Good. So now I know you know where the Q&A box is. So go ahead and drop in your Q&A, drop in your questions, put in your comments, and anything else you'd like to add. And I promised you a special offer. So here it is. I'm just going to take 1 minute to go through it, maybe less actually. I've got the timer going. You can save $240 and get a free website builder if you get a paid Constant Contact subscription through us, the Countess Group. To do that, go to that URL at the bottom of the screen. It's www.completelyfreetrial.com. So when you go there, if you don't have an account, it's going to have you sign up for a free trial. And once you do that, I'll be able to see that you signed up. I can't get into your account unless you let me. But then when you convert it from a trial to a paid account, then you get access to a website builder. It's really awesome. I use it a lot, and I use it for my clients to help them build a free website. Normally, Constant Contact charges $240 a year for it. So just by attending, you get an opportunity to get it for free. And if you have Constant Contact already and you'd like to add that to your existing subscription, you can do that too. Just reach out to me and we'll help you out. All right, so we can coach you or we could do it for you. Once again, my name's Ken Countess. I'm Managing Director of the Countess Group. We partner not only with Constant Contact, but Keep and Soho and Microsoft and several other companies too. We're a full service marketing consultancy. We can help you with anything you need, truly, to market your business. And as you probably have guessed, as marketing folks, we're all over the web. YouTube, and we have a podcast, and Instagram, and Pinterest, and Twitter, and LinkedIn, and all the rest. If you haven't connected with me yet on my business page, go to facebook.com/The Countess Group and connect with me on LinkedIn, linkedin.com/in/Ken Countess. Make sure you personalize that invitation to connect, okay? And then also on Instagram, it's Ken Countess Marketing. So we help businesses like yours gain an unfair advantage over your competition. We teach you how to target your marketing so you don't waste time and money. You can get a free consultation with me at bit.ly/meet-with-Ken, or you can call me at this number, 407-242-4200. Okay, so let's jump into Q&A. I see a few more things have been popping up. So let me go ahead and jump into that. So let me drag over the screen here. This is sort of a good thing I don't have the camera running today. I'm not quite sure why the camera thing isn't working today, but it doesn't seem to be. So that's just the way life is sometimes. Okay, so let's go into Q&A. And by the way, if you'd like to set up a free consultation with me, if you didn't get a chance to write it down, we can have you do it this way and we'll reach out to you. Okay, so Wayne asks, do you evaluate a website to give an opinion? Yes, we do. So reach out to me, Wayne, and we'll do that for you. Deirdre says, I want to offer new online services now, but I'm not sure who my target audience is. Hey, Deirdre, I know we spoke earlier in the week. Give me a buzz. Let me go ahead and answer that question for you. I'll give you a hand. About looking performance costs. Wayne, the answer to that is the website builder is free. If you've got a website, a URL, maybe you have an existing site and you want to build a new one, buy a new domain, you could certainly do that. So here's an example of that. This completelyfreetrial.com, I just bought that about 2 weeks ago. And what that does is it actually takes you to a page that has our company name and Constant Contact at the top, but it was totally free, right? So my existing website is thecountessgroup.com, but this makes it free, easy. You can do just about anything you want with it. If you need help, call me. Audrey says, because of COVID-19, my travel business is on hold, and I've shifted to a second service offering school and home learning services to parents who are working with children at home. How can I reposition my service without starting a new website? Well, it's, because your travel site and your other business are unrelated, you probably want to be thinking, Audrey, about setting up a new site because otherwise it's confusing to people. They'll say, well, what business are you really in? Right? So I would take advantage. It's such a small price. You can get a website on the cheap. Google domains cost you $12, and that includes the privacy, the security offering. So I'd recommend you set up a second site. Call me if you need some help with that. All right, let's see. Let's go over to the comments. Couldn't agree more, Taryn says, about the homepage. The first thing you must do in person or online is to capture someone's attention. Totally right. Lucinda says, hey, thanks, this was great. It actually reassured that I have my website right. Cool. I'll go over everything just the same, as I'm sure there are a few things that need to be updated. What's the one nugget you didn't tell us today that's really key? It's that you need to keep your website up to date. Google ranks websites in part on how fresh they are. So if you haven't touched your website in a long time, add more stuff to it. I've got 3 action items for you to do this week. Ready? Here's number one. Take a look at your marketing. Is it delivering the results that you need to succeed? Number two, make sure you schedule a consultation with me and sign up for our events. You can do that on our website. And number three, also on our website, under the Offers tab, sign up for the tools that will help you grow your business. There's no credit card required for most of them. When you go to our website, look at the tab all the way on the right. That's where the red arrow is pointing to. It says Offers. We try to make it easy. Okay, I'm ready to go into Q&A. And once again, where the Q&A box is, move your mouse down to the bottom of the screen. That will reveal the toolbar where you can use the chat box or a Q&A, whatever you like. My name's Ken Countess. I'm Managing Director of the Countess Group. We help businesses just like yours gain an unfair advantage over their competition with targeted marketing. We're a full-service marketing consultancy. Why would you hire us? Good question. We're a team of over 30 people with over 40 years of marketing experience. And by the way, those are people with 40 years. It's not taking all 30 people and adding up their experience and everybody's got a year or two and that's how you get to 40. No, it's not that at all. We've got a very experienced team. We vet everybody to make sure we have top talent. So we can coach you or we could do it for you. I encourage you to be sure that you take time to absorb and practice what you've seen today. And give me a call if you have any questions. We'll all get through this challenging time together by working together. Okay, let's go to Q&A. And while you're thinking about questions you might want to ask, let me put up a screenshot of our website and the URL to go to where you can take a look at replays of events, look at upcoming events, sign up for them, get those free trials, schedule a consultation, and more. You can find us all over social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter. There are others as well. But look us up and follow us on our social channels. Whichever channels you like to use, we're probably there. I do have an ask of you for attending today's session. And that ask is to share my emails and share my social media posts and like my social pages. And if you've attended any of my classes before, or if we've done any work for you before, email me a testimonial. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear your comments. And with your permission, and I only do it with permission, I'll post them on our website. So let me know if that, number one, if you would send a testimonial, that would be terrific. That's like a review. And also let me know if you'd be willing to have me post it on our website. I don't use the full name. I might use either your initials or your first name and the first initial of your last name. Okay, so those are my asks. Share my emails, share my social posts, like my social pages, and then please email me a testimonial every morning at this time. If you're outside the US, make the adjustment. I know we have people here from Europe and Asia. Thank you all for joining us, and be sure to join us again. So, hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. I really love it when you show up, and I love the family of people we've got. We've got some folks who haven't missed a session yet. So thanks so much for joining me. Have yourself a great day. Bye for now.